And yeah, I guess in the span of a few moments, we kind of learn Elizabeth's secret of her not really being all that rich, even though I guess what we've learned from Yama's implication, or rather the implication is that her parents are like from a very rich company and stuff, and they're CEOs and all that. So supposedly she's supposed to inherit that wealth, right? But apparently she's not all that rich. That's why she's working as a cashier here. But she knows her secret, right? This brunette girl. I wonder who she is. Why does she know her secret? And I guess, well, I assume they trust each other, right? So that's why she knows the secret. But then again, she just, well, maybe intentionally, just told Elizabeth's secrets to us. So maybe she's not all that trustworthy. We asked for her name, but am I obliged to? As you said, it's common courtesy. Now when did I say I was courteous? She brushes her pencil into her bag and slings it over her shoulder, winking at Elizabeth. I'll see you later, Beth. And Yama? Play nice. She floats out of the cafe without another word, shutting the door softly behind her. She's a bit mysterious. Come to think of it, how does she know my name? I should probably learn it from Elizabeth. Said Elizabeth rings up my order of 3 pastries and a smoothie as I spend a few minutes pondering the strange girl. 3 pastries and a smoothie? Fancy. No, how big are the pastries actually? So, is it just small pastries? So it's probably not all that much. What's her name? Why do you want to know? Is it really that big of a deal? Elizabeth sighs in clear exasperation. Her name is Natsuki Tanaka. Natsuki Tanaka. Now you can hit on her. Congratulations. I lean over the counter until my face is an inch from hers. What makes you think that she's the one I want to hit on? Elizabeth glances away, instinctively disturbed by my proximity. Right as I'm about to feel a rush of triumph, I catch a slight scent. Country lavender with a hint of vanilla. It's oddly magnetic. I'm suddenly bulldozed by a sensory onslaught. I can see the curl of her long lashes, the gleam of her eyes, every perfectly tapered point of every hair, the subtle curve of her lips. I stagger backward, fighting against the images in my head. I need to get a hold of myself. This is Elizabeth. She's always been pretty. Why let it mess with me now? In a shaky attempt to cover my slit-up, I shove a bill forward. Keep the change. Elizabeth elegantly plucks the bill from my hand, and before I can process what's happening, she's wrapped her fingers around my collar, pulling me forward. Well, for a few painful seconds, she stays there, her lips an inch from my jawline. Keep what change? You didn't give me enough in the first place. She releases me and glances at the bill I've handed her. Only 1,000 yen. Oh crap, she's right. 1,000 yen. That's about like actually, how much is that? It's about like it's around like $10. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Unless I'm getting my conversion wrong, but generally you just take a zero out of the yen amount, and that's how much in dollars. Around it's a very rough estimate. It's not exactly, so, but it gives you a general idea how much 1,000 yen is worth in dollars. Yeah, I feel a blush flare in my cheeks as I slide another bill to her. The corners of her mouth pull up just slightly. I'm careful. Wouldn't want everyone to know that you're actually poor, would you? Yeah. She's genuinely amused as she passes me my order and bustles off to make me my smoothie. I hate to admit it, but she doesn't look bad when she smiles. Are you falling for all the girls, Yama? Come on. You know, this is a waifu game, so Here's the harem. Though I've heard actually the second part of this game, which is still being made and hopefully will be made. There is gonna be like routes, right? Heroine routes. So you get to choose like one of the girls, I assume. Eventually, you know. Get a grip, Yama. This is the Elizabeth who hounded you all of last year. The Elizabeth who keeps butting into things that aren't her business. The Elizabeth who believes that everything is in her control. That Elizabeth. Back to my senses, I select the butter croissant and throw the other 2 pastries in my backpack. Well, there's not much to do, so I follow Elizabeth to the blenders. You're buying 3 pastries because you're keeping the other 2 for later. Apparently, she's recovered because her face is set to its default disapproving scowl. What are you doing? Eating croissant? Stop staring. You know, your workstation has windows for a reason. And that reason is not for you to stare at me like a pervert. What about an admiring fanboy? Blimey, you're insufferable. I can't help but chuckle as a tinge of English leaks through her accent. Oh, so she has an accent? Well, I guess that's why, I guess that's why she's named Elizabeth. You know, compared to everyone else who's Japanese. So, are you actually from England? Why are you asking me asking me all these questions? Oh, I'm bored, and you're taking a long time to make my smoothie. Maybe I wouldn't take so long if you would stop distracting me. Or maybe you need to learn how to actually focus. She huffily slams the lid down on the blender and starts it up. The roar of the machine blurs the sound between us. Oh dear me, I would like some tea and crumpets. What are you doing, Yama? Elizabeth's shoulders tighten in clear annoyance. Tally-ho, old sport! What say you to some fish and chips? I'm shaking my head at Yama's silliness. The blender picks up speed until it begins to whine. The weather is positively ghastly today, is it not? Then the blender stops. Elizabeth wordlessly pours the mixture into a cup and caps it, handing it over the window. Firstly, I was born and raised in Japan just like everyone else. Secondly, just because you're not bilingual doesn't mean you have to mock people who are. She tears the wrapper off the end of the straw and sticks it roughly into the smoothie. Have a nice day, come again. And with that she strides into the back room, leaving me by myself. I actually feel uneasy as I settle into a corner. I expected Elizabeth to lash out at me just like every other time. But she was calm. Honest, even if clearly annoyed. Is her heritage a weak spot? Did I bring up something that should have been left alone? Furthermore, why am I letting it bother me? Because maybe there's this thing called empathy, where if you hurt someone else's feelings, you feel bad because you shouldn't do that. You know? There's a clear line between teasing and actually hurting someone. Anyway. She's never showed me mercy, not on the days where I just want to be left alone. The days where life almost wasn't worth it. Maybe because she didn't want to leave you alone? Maybe, anyway. Should I do the same? As I bite into my croissant, hoping to distract myself with its taste, the door of a cafe swings open, or the cafe swings open. Oh, there she is. Shigare storms in, the tiny manifestation of fury as she clutches her phone against her ear, barking into its mouthpiece. As I previously explicated, the situation now merits further scrutiny. Have you compiled the informative analysis of the extraction methods? Extraction methods? Using so much big words, Shigare. I can't keep up. Your errant incompetence disgusts me. Trust that you shall be receiving a visitation from your supervising officer within the next 24 hours. Good day. She angrily shuts her phone and stuffs it in her pocket. Only then do her eyes land on me. Ishimiyama. Alas, someone with manageable quantity of incompetence. Nice to see you too, I guess. Show me the receipt of your purchase. Purchase? For your pastries. I almost ask her why, but decide just to shut up and give her the receipt. She promptly marches to the corner, taps her wallet against the card receiver, and marches back with 1,300 yen in change. She slides this to my side of the table with an expected look. You need me to buy coffee for you? This is reimbursement. As your superior, I am treating you for this meeting. Oh, thanks. I'm honestly surprised. She came across as the type of person to make me pay for both of us, actually. Now, regarding tonight's mission. Mission? Indeed, one of my asinine colleagues mislaid a pivotal dossier within the 6th district of Isamu. The 6th out of 9 districts, also known as the district of drugs, gangs, and general mayhem, where little children ought not to go. I think I know where this is headed. Your assignment is to retrieve it tonight. Yeah, I saw that one coming. And why would I do this? The better inquiry is, what abhorrent consequence shall befall you if you do not? This stalls me for a moment, but I manage to think up a passable reply. Well, clearly nothing too terrible, since you need me to get it for you instead of going yourself. Funnily enough, instead of lashing out at this remark, Shigare only seems impressed. Perhaps you'll pass after all. Pass? The dossier's whereabouts are currently being established. I shall contact you with additional instructions at a later date. Or a later time, rather. I didn't even say I would do this. I doubt that availability is an issue. How does she... Now, I'm not even gonna ask. Not having a schedule conflict doesn't mean that I'll take it. Then consider it your municipal burden. But I never agreed to... Do you not wish to be something? To be something or someone extraordinary, to do something significant with your inconsequential existence. Then it is settled. Stay in touch. She abruptly tilts her cap and storms out of the cafe, leaving me in stunned silence. Well, I return to my apartment, feeling an unusual kinship with an on-call military personnel. At this moment, everything is peaceful and quiet, to the point of boredom. But the more I wait, the answer I get, like a ball of energy, is tangled up inside me. I'd almost like to just go and get it over with, but District 6 is huge. There's no way I could find it without at least some general guidelines. I'd be going to the sketchiest area of the city with no backup, no support, no health insurance. Heck, this is probably illegal for Shigari to do. Whatever. That'll be interesting. And helpful, apparently. Since I have some free time right now, maybe I should text a friend or watch Gober Mecha. I mean... We've been just watching Gober Mecha this whole time. Though actually, I wanna text a friend. That might lead to conversations with someone else, right? So, actually, I'm a little bit more interested in... Gober Mecha or text a friend. That's a tough decision, actually, because I do want to know more about the characters, right? I mean, it's kind of one of the sticking points of visual novels is just learning about the characters, you know, learning their stories, you know? I'll text a friend. Let's see what happens. Who should I text? Oh, I gotta choose. Interesting. Ryui, Misaki, Elizabeth. Choose your waifu. You know, Elizabeth is kind of interesting, right? Because we've been having this hostile relationship, supposedly, but, you know, maybe it's because, actually, well, it's kind of cliche, but she always, what's the word, bickers with us and, tries to, you know, nag us because she cares, right? She always sticks close to us, or at least in class anyway. Tries to scold us because she sees in someone, maybe someone similar to herself, right? Someone lonely, maybe. You know, that's again a bit of a cliche, but right? Because what even like what Yama say? Yama just said like you know, on days when he wanted to be left alone, Elizabeth will be there. You know, supposedly annoying him, but maybe it's because, you know, sometimes being left alone, especially in a you know, in a depressed state, I guess. So you know, in a bad way, when you're having a bad day, sometimes it's not the best to be left alone. Actually, it's best to have someone be there for you, right? And well, maybe Yama is just misinterpreting Elizabeth's kindness. You know, on the surface, they annoy each other, but actually, there might be some romantic tension there. Well, I guess with all the waifus there is. And there's Misaki. Misaki's, I guess, the childhood friend, technically, but, you know, not for a long time, who came back as a transfer student. And she's quite mysterious, actually. I mean, she says she's a model, she's a model, right? But Yama has some suspicions regarding that. You know, is she modeling, or does she have a different job? Yama even mentioned, he even said that one of the possibilities that she's working under Secret Service. That might actually be true. I don't know. And well, like, also like what was his name? Masato also was a bit suspicious from Misaki. So there might be something deeper with her. You know, she might not be all what she seems to be. Also, she uses the cell phone really good. So, who, like, then again, I mean, I'm thinking, like, you know, who would use like a cell phone, like, in such a advanced fashion? Well, I mean, that's like normal people, like most people, most young people anyway, who grew up with cell phones. So maybe it's not that weird. But I'm thinking she might be, again, like, I'm trying to figure out, who is she really? We don't know. And as far as a romance goes, it's not really. It's like it was even lampshaded on, you know, the fact that there might be a love triangle between Misaki and Ryui and Yama. But I mean, she even said that she's not interested. But of course, in the anime, you know, just because the waifu says that she's not interested doesn't mean she isn't interested. She might be, as a rule of romantic drama. And of course, there's Ryui, and Ryui is the actual, like, childhood friend that's been hanging out with us for 10 years, and well, she knows us more than anyone else. But of course, the childhood friend never wins. Childhood friend never wins in most animes. But of course, this is a visual novel, right? So you can choose. Then again, it's in the part two of this game. You get to actually have a route with one of the waifus. But anyway, I'm trying to think, who would I be interested in if I was Yama? I don't know. Not really. Actually, I'm not really all that interested. Maybe Elizabeth. The thing is, we haven't really been interacting with Elizabeth all that often. Just the one at the coffee shop. You know, there's that little thread we got where we learned that she isn't, you know, all that rich, and she might have some trouble with family, right? Because she doesn't like her heritage, maybe. You know. But other than that, I could talk to Misaki, but I mean, Misaki. You know, I was expecting her when she was, like, I guess just from her design, I was expecting her to be more cold, right, actually. You know, to be more of the, like, quiet type, you know? The aloof type. Someone who doesn't really, like, engages in small talk. But actually, she does. She gets along well with a lot of people. She's quite charismatic, you know? I wasn't really expecting that. Just from her initial introduction, but, well, as we learned, she's not that at all. She's quite affable. Or rather, is that the word? Affable? Quite friendly, right? And there's Ryui. I mean, Yama keeps saying he doesn't marry Ryui, but I mean, we got that CG where he pretty much she's the waifu. Come on. It's kind of obvious. It's the obvious choice. Why aren't you marrying her already? Come on. You know what? I'm gonna talk to Ryui. Nyeh. At least try to, anyway. But she did, like, walk away from us, right? After she hurt her, ankle and stuff, and we carried her. She didn't really explain. Did she, like, pretend to, like, hurt herself so we can carry her, or what? And also a profile. Ryu, just your average girl. If you need help or anything, just ask. Wow. Hey, Ryu. How did the talk with Miki go? I guess she's gonna respond? Nothing? Yo! Alright, we're being ghosted. I talked to Akira about the little stunt today. I ain't carrying you no more, woman. Riri. Oh my god, stop. I'm studying for a test tomorrow. So needy. Studying? Tests? Yes, cause some of us can't get away with just skimming the book. Angry face. You sound stressed. I presume the discussion with Miki didn't go well. Yeah, pretty much. You know how she can get? Stubborn? Yeah, sure. LOL. Oh my god. She really does write like the average teenager. Oh, and sorry about the ankle incident earlier. It was all Akira's idea. I plead innocence. You still went along with it, you know. Shush, child. What about Miki? Are you just gonna keep things this way? Why do you keep taking her side? Shouldn't you be angrier than I am? I think of it as the reverse. I'm not angry, so you shouldn't be, right? This feels like a bad breakup scenario. You understand her explanations and forgive her really quickly. But I don't trust her. Yeah, Ryu doesn't trust her, Masato doesn't trust her, and to be honest, me the player, like, I don't trust her either, but I can't really pinpoint why exactly. Just something about her. How can I be close with someone I can't trust? But doesn't she have a good reason? I'm sorry, Yama, but I don't really want to talk about this right now. I'm in a bad mood from talking with Misaki earlier, and I have studying and I don't want to make you feel like you need to fix this. It's something Misaki and I need to fix ourselves. But, okay, but will you? Fix it, I mean. Well, night, Riri. I lounge against the sofa and stare into the ceiling, flipping my phone idly in my hands. I should study, or cook, or clean, do something productive. It all sounds so mendokse. I'll just sit here for a moment. Sit here and do nothing. I suck. Yeah. Oh, more phone texting. Is it from our detective? Yes. This is the address. I've appended directions that a toddler can follow. Rest in the knowledge that if you miraculously manage to lose your way, you will possess an intellect inferior than a toddler. Or perhaps that is already the case. Should I just go now? It's not like I have anything better to do. Alright. And setting up earlier might give me some crucial information or something. Who knows? I throw on a jacket before I stride out the door, the cold night air cutting into my face. Time to go to the dangerous part of town, or city. And I guess, yeah, I was wondering if the place where Yama goes to school and stuff, and where he lives, is like probably the rich part of town, and District 6 is much less so. Well, this part of Isamu is a much less friendly one, especially at this hour of night. When you don't look, shadows that shift, lights that gleam, smiles that shine somewhere in the darkness. And when you do, only stillness, as if nothing odd is happening. Shady lights, the dubious advertisements, a smattering of very unfriendly folk on every street corner. I probably should have just stayed at home. Then I could have studied. Or well, wasted more time, I guess. Anything is preferable to being murdered in the district with the highest crime rate. Thanks a lot, Shigare. Consider it my contribution to the furtherance of society. Gee, you're really comforting. If you're in the quest for comfort, I suggest you procure a plush creature of some sort. or some kind, child. I'm not sure whether I should be proud or disturbed by the fact that I can perfectly emulate her. Ah! Oh no! Who was that? It looked like the silhouette of a waifu. Oh, what the? I catch the light syncopation of tidy footsteps, and despite every instinct railing against me, I follow them around the corner. No one is in this area of Isin that night. No one except the Yakuza, a crazy murderer, or maybe a different criminal. And the question is why am I willingly tailing someone who could kill me as easily as they could break a toothpick? I really need to reevaluate my life priorities. Oh no! It's a lowly! Yeah! Ah! I wildly stagger to my feet, ready to meet my attacker with... Wait. Well, to say the least, the girl before me is definitely not a threat. She's almost 2 heads shorter than me. Small and skinny, with large blank eyes fixed on my own. Her pale skin, pointed chin, and unbending posture reminds me of a fragile doll. Furthermore, she's an academy student. What would someone like her be doing at this? What would someone like her be doing at this time of night? Oh, sorry. I extend a hand to her. No. Her voice is light, wispy, like the word is pulled out of her mouth rather than spoken out of her own volition. What? She only silently stares into the distance. Okay. The more I examine her, the more mysterious this girl becomes. So many mysterious waifus. All of the mysterious waifus. The true mystery is figuring out who these waifus are. She appears daintily. Thin frame, lacy hair accessories, full cheeks with big doe eyes and tiny feet. But her voice is monotone. The words are few. Her gaze is dead, and she's walking fearlessly around the part of Isamu where no girl should go alone. Are you lost? No. Even her reactions are unusual. For once, I have no idea what could possibly be going on in her head. This isn't really a safe area. Yet you're here. 3 words, the most she's spoken thus far. I'm not as, weak, frail, she might consider that insulting, tired as you. Tired? You crashed into me. I didn't. What? You crashed into me. She states this flatly, as if it's the absolute truth and no other alternative is acceptable. Right. It dawns on me that her complete lack of fear in this district of the city should be suspicious. She's tiny, shouldn't she be terrified? Are you heading back to school? No. Well, I was gonna offer to escort her, but then where are you going? Are you going anywhere? Just ellipses. It's like speaking to a brick wall. Do you need any help? She completely ignores my hand as she glides to her feet, idly brushing her skirt. Really, what is going on? I'll take that as a no. She glances around, not secretively, not even worriedly, almost mechanically. An anime girl in a dark alley, speaking in monotone, and are you a robot? Because very similar to a visual novel I just played recently, where we had this very similar situation. Then, without a word, she walks away, disappearing back around the corner. That was strange, although I'm not sure the word strange can even quantify just how utterly strange that encounter was. Regardless, she's gone. I got my own business to see to. I hope she's gonna be fine. Despite this calm line of thought, I'm still shaken as I head to the location Shigare has denoted on the map. Somewhere I must have taken a wrong turn. I try to follow her directions to the letter, but there's nothing in sight. I shuffle closer to the shadows, peering out of my corner of safety into the road. Several shady figures are gathered around a trash bin, laughing how you say that? Actually, I don't know. Raucously? around smoldering cigarettes. And I guess, are we lost? Or is this it? Maybe I'm supposed to spy on them? No, I'm supposed to retrieve that file. Still, now I can see why Shigata sent me. Despite her competency at verbal abuse, she's small in stature and can easily be overpowered by any of these thugs. Moreover, she doesn't seem licensed to carry a gun. So of course she decides to send a defenseless high school student in her stead. We're not any better, really. I creep around the side of the building, double checking my phone. Yep, right here. Give or take a couple feet. I scan my surroundings, but there's so much litter that I can't see anything particularly significant. Maybe I should ask Shigata? No, this is my assignment. I need to do this on my own. I absently run my hands over the brick wall behind me as if they'll keep me grounded. My fingers brush for something smooth. Now wait a minute. I turn to examine the offending spot. A folded piece of paper is shoved between the cracks of the wall. Judging by how fresh it looks, it must have been put there just recently. Ah, okay, we found it. Hesitantly, I extract it and skim over the words. Congratulations, Ishiyama. You're not a toddler. My subordinate sent me these instructions to reach the file. A ping-pong ball falls down a very narrow pipe that's fixed to the ground. All you have is your ping-pong paddle, shoelaces, and a water bottle. How do you retrieve it? He claims that the file is at the answer within half a block of your vicinity. What is... All we get is... a riddle? Another test, I guess, or... Well, it might not be her riddle, it might be... I guess just a way to get the particular file. At the answer within half block of your vicinity. Ping pong? Okay, do I have to actually figure this out? Ping pong ball falls down a very narrow pipe that's fixed to the ground. All you have is your ping pong paddle, shoelaces, and a water bottle. How do you retrieve it? Huh? Is this a metaphor or is this literal? Or do we have to is there, because there is a pipe, right? There's a pipe. Is this a vertical pipe? Or a horizontal pipe? I assume it's a vertical because it's falling down. And all you have, what are we retrieving? The ping pong ball? How do you retrieve it? I mean, I guess the literal answer, I guess, is fill the, well, I mean, depends. Can we open the pipe? Is there water running through it, or it's fixed to the ground? I don't know. Because I assume if it's an empty pipe, and you can't really, like, you can't break open the pipe, right? In which case... Because my first thought is, like, filling the pipe with water or something, and make the ping pong ball, like, float up from the overflow. So, or rather, like, if it's like a pipe, like, if we can... but then again, it's fixed to the ground, right? Because I was thinking maybe we could block it somehow, and then add some water, in which case the ping pong ball would float up from the overflow, but I don't know, whatever. This doesn't make any sense. Whatever, let's just continue. Let's see. How do we solve this? A puzzle? Seriously? Tell Shigari to get better instructions, or try to solve the puzzle. Let's try to solve it. Well, I guess there's no getting around it. I have to solve this to find the puzzle, or find the file. Which object is the key to this puzzle? I'm thinking... the water bottle? What water bottle should I use? Its contents. Alright, I could use the water in the bottle, which means I could just... drink the water and urinate into the pipe. Freeze the water, throw the bottle in the pipe, use the force to push the ball out. I'm gonna pour water down the pipe. I could simply pour the water down the pipe, the ball would float to the surface, and I could easily pick it out. Yeah, that's my first solution. Seems like that's the answer. In that case, it looks like the answer is water. I take another look at Shigari's note. The file is at the answer within a half block of your vicinity. Does she mean that I have to look for a source of water? What does that even mean? Water's everywhere. The running faucets, the convenience store. No way, there's an old fountain on the other side of the building. I take a short way down the road. Sure enough, another obtrusive note is stuck to the rim of an inactive fountain. Figures. Another note. I'm beginning to wonder if I'll ever find this fountain at all. Oh. Okay, we've graduated from toddler to kindergartner, I guess. Another puzzle. How interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can figure this one out. A petri dish holds a colony of bacteria. Every minute, each bacterium divides into two. A scientist began the colony with a single bacterium at 12 o'clock p.m. and at 12:43 the dish is half full. At what time will the dish be full? The hour of the answer is the direction in which you must proceed to reach the file. Okay, how do I figure this one out? Also, yeah, this reminds me of, what is it, Professor Layton? You know, it's basically like a game where you just do a bunch of puzzles and figure out riddles. So, well, this is it, right? I guess we're just suddenly playing Professor Layton. Also, I'm not really good at Professor Layton, you know? I never really finished a Professor Layton level, or not level, well, I would really be bad if I couldn't finish a level, but rather I didn't finish the game, any of the games really. I tried playing one of them, but like, it just got really hard, you know, the puzzles. But yeah, okay, let's see if we can figure this one out. Every minute a bacterium divides into two. Okay. At 12:43, the dish is half full. At what time would the dish be full? Okay. Every minute divides into two. I mean, I'm thinking we shouldn't take this too literally, you know, because it divides. If it divides, into two. A scientist began the colony with single bacterium at 12 o'clock p.m. I was thinking my first thought is, did the bacterium just start? Did the dish start off full already? But actually, if it did, then it should just stay full, and it shouldn't stay half full. If it like divides every minute, so I guess. I mean, yeah. How in general, how like cells and stuff, and I guess bacteria reproduce is divided in half, so that makes sense. So, but dividing in half is more, right? The dish is half full. At what time will the dish be full? It's hurting my head. Oh no! Head hurts. I'm becoming a Yahiko. No. Let's see. It divides into two every minute. So every minute divides into two. By 43 minutes, it has divided 43 times. I got it. The dish will be full at 12:44, right? Because it divides every minute. Every single bacterium divides every minute. And if the dish is half full, it just needs to all divide once more, right? So, the answer is 12:44. Right? I think? Maybe? She's enjoying this, I swear. Either way, it looks like I have to solve this puzzle too. Thanks a lot, Shigare. Okay. I think it's 12:44, right? Unless I'm an idiot, which is kind of true. Right. If every bacterium divides into two per minute, then it doesn't matter what time the colony was started. All that matters is that at 12:43 the dish was half full. Therefore, at 12:44 the dish will be completely full. I did it! Hooray! I've actually, yeah, there's a similar puzzle in Professor Layton as well. That riddle, I mean, that's probably a famous riddle, you know, in general. But I forgot like, I was thinking like you gotta read it in a very specific way. It's like the time doesn't matter. It's more so there's like a trick to it. I was trying to figure that out, trying to remember that, and I guess I did. So that was a completely useless puzzle that basically just told me to go forward. I walked down the road, keeping my eyes out for another slip of paper, and as expected, there's another note jammed conspicuously between the crevices of two buildings. Well, my question is, why does Shigare go through all this trouble? In order to get these notes in the first place, she'd have to come here, which utterly defeats the purpose of sending me. I mean, I guess she's just testing you, just like last time. Well, whatever. Looks like there's another puzzle to solve. Yay, we graduated! We're smarter than the 5th grader. And this is the last one. Okay. Save. Though if I get it wrong, I probably won't. Save scum. I want to get it right the first time, is the thing. Okay, this is the third and penultimate set of instructions. How can you throw a ball as hard as you can, not bounce it off of anything, and still have it returned to you? How can you throw a ball as hard as you can, not bounce it off of anything, and still have it returned to you? My first thought? Gravity. Right? Actually, my very first thought was, hey, what if I just throw the ball as, like, if you can throw it as hard as you can, as superhuman speeds, it can go around the world and then back to you, right? No, that's dumb. Actually, it's just gravity, as in you throw it up and it comes down, right? It doesn't bounce off anything. It's just gravity. Now, there's no getting around it. I'll just have to solve another puzzle. What do I need to change in order to have the ball come back to me without bouncing off anything? Direction. Right. I can't bounce it off anything, I can't change the circumstances, which means I have to change the direction. The question is what? Direction. Up. Alright, gravity's still in effect. I just have to throw the ball upward in order to have it returned to me. So the answer is up. And the note says I have to go in that direction to reach the file. I locate a rickety 2-story building next to the canal. Guess that's where I'm supposed to go. Okay, I guess we did it. I trudge up the stairs, enveloped in darkness. My only comfort is the light that comes from my phone. Eventually, I come into a creepy storage room that's filled with all sorts of ominous shapes. I jerk backward as a dark shape bolts across the floor, but, well, it's just a rat scurrying by. Weird rats. Rats. No, Shigere's doing this on purpose, isn't she? I swivel around the obstacles, keeping my eyes peeled for another telling corner of white. Suddenly, a silhouette wavers in front of my face. A spider. Of all things, spiders. What if it poisons me, sinks its rapid teeth in my jugular vein, stabs its awful spindly limbs straight from my heart, grows to the size of... Okay, now I'm just being stupid, right? Then it teasingly waves its odious, twisted little legs, nearly catching me on the nose. I instinctively stagger backwards, flailing my hands before my face. My back slams into a hard, stony shape. I whip around, examining it fearfully. It's just a statuette of a horse, plastered with a note, finally. Hands still shaking, I seize the note and peruse its contents. The sooner I can get out of here, the better. Congratulations, Ishiyama, you are not a middle schooler. This is a final set of instructions. Oh, okay, so okay. I thought the last one was the last question. But this one, we still have one more. I guess I read the last note wrong, or... Anyway, here's the final puzzle, I think, probably, hopefully. A rich man tells his 2 sons to race their horses to a distant city to see who will inherit his fortune. The one whose horse is slower wins. After wandering aimlessly for days, the brothers ask a wise man for guidance. Upon receiving the advice, they jump on the horses and race to the city as fast as they can. What did the wise man say to them? Okay. 2 sons. The one whose horse is slower wins. After wandering aimlessly for days, the brothers ask a wise man for guidance. On receiving the advice, they jump on the horses and race to the city as fast as they can. What did the wise men say to them? I think I recognize this riddle, but I don't know. I forgot the solution. The one whose horse is slower wins. I mean, then why not? I mean, the first thought that comes to mind. Whose horse is slower wins. Race the city as fast as they can. The one whose horse is slow, because I feel there's a trick twist, right? Because there's a reason that they're racing as fast as they can, you know? What did the wise man say to them? Race to a distant city. Is it the same city, or did they race to the same city? If they are, generally, like the premise is that you're supposed to be the slower one to win, right? But what are you winning? The one whose horse is slower wins. First ask the wise men for guidance. Upon receiving the advice, they jump on the horses and race to the city as fast as they can. What did the wise men say to them? Just go to the city and race now. I mean, thinking out of the box, I mean, why can't they just win at the same time? In which case, they both inherit the fortune. But like, that's assuming too much, I think. The one whose horse is slower wins. One whose horse is slower wins. Nani? Because I'm thinking, okay. How do you win the race? Do you need to race your horse? I guess, yeah. The one whose horse is slower. Here's like a dad joke. What if you just name your horse Slower? Then you win, right? No. That makes no sense. Maybe, I don't know. It's like, just call your horse Slower. Hey, it's Slower. Not like you know, the name Slower. Then you win, right? That sounds dumb, though. I don't think that is a solution. Well, let's continue. I don't know if Yama says anything. Final set of instructions. I'm almost done. I actually feel somewhat disappointed. Despite my complaining, and the spiders, I've actually enjoyed these challenges. At any rate, I guess I better solve this puzzle and find this file. Look what the wise man said. Oh, two-word answer. Two-word answer. Oh man, I don't know. What's the answer to the riddle? It's only 2 words? A rich man tells his 2 sons to race their horses to a distant city to see who will inherit his fortune. The one whose horse is slower wins. After wandering aimlessly for days, the brothers ask a wise man for guidance. Upon receiving the advice, they jump on the horses and race to the city as fast as they can. What did the wise man say to them? Give up. No, wow, I don't know. But I'm gonna sit here and keep trying to think of a solution, though, because come on, I really wanna solve this puzzle, this riddle that other people already know probably. I swear I did this puzzle before, or this riddle rather. I just don't remember the solution. What was the solution, man? What did the wise men say to them? What did the wise men say to them to get them to race to the city as fast as they can? You know? You jump on the horse. Because I'm thinking, can they jump on a single horse? No, it's a plural, right? The horses. So I don't think that's it. Because I'm thinking like maybe they just both jump on the same horse, but that wouldn't work. Because what you could do is, you know, have one horse pass the finish line, and both of them jump on the second horse, and technically they're both on the slower horse, so they both win, right? But then again, like it depends. Like, what's like the end goal here? Like both of them inheriting the fortune? That's not really implied, really. So again, that's assuming too much. Again, I'm thinking back. Can you just name your horse slower? No. That's just my solution. That makes no sense. Because it's a two-word answer, right? Two-word answer. What would that two-word answer be? I'm gonna sit here for 10 minutes trying to figure this out. I'm trying to talk through it as well, so I don't just stare at this in silence. Okay. Premise is, he has two sons, a rich man, and what he says, what he literally says is that the one whose horse is slower wins, and therefore gets his fortune, right? But what do they win? They win his fortune. Is that what the puzzle is saying, right? The riddle? To see who will inherit his fortune. The one who's slower wins. The one whose horse is slower wins, rather. And he specifically says horse. Whose horse? The one whose horse is slower wins. Race their horses. One whose horse is slower wins. After wandering, I mean, in that case, I mean, the image that comes to mind, you know, in a literal sense, is that you want to be second place, right? You want to be the slower one. But in a race to like be second place, like no one's gonna pass the finish line, right? If the whole point is to be in second place, no one wants to be first place. So how do you get around that? Or rather, should we be taking that premise literally? You know, is there a trick to that? Or did the wise men give that advice to the two sons to make sure that they win, or either of them win? Because it makes them go as fast as they can, right? So they want to be in first place, right? Because they want to inherit the fortune, I assume. So what did the wise men say to them to make them actually go for first place and not actually be slower? Race their horses, and I'm thinking, is it like a foot race? Is it just a race in general? But it says right here, race their horses. Because again, I'm thinking, I mentioned before, like, can you just get off your horse and just go to the finish line? But then again, I don't know, that doesn't really ensure that you win, right? So I still don't know. The one whose horse is slower. The one whose horse is slower. Brain melting. Brain hurting. This is what happens when I play Professor Layton games. Brain just dies. Because I can't think a certain way. Can't figure out this logic. After wandering aimlessly for days, first asked for wise men for guidance. The gem on the horse restless again. What did the wise men say to them? In 2 words. Go slow, go fast. Slow and steady wins the race. No, well, I'm not a middle schooler, but this is kind of, this is stumping me right here. The one whose horse is slower wins. One whose horse is slower wins. The one whose horse, so like a pun or something? The one whose horse is slower wins. The one whose horse is slower wins? The one whose horse? Like, I'm pretty sure horse, so it can only refer to the animal, right? There's no... As far as I know, there's no, like, homonym for horse. The one whose horse is slower wins. I mean, here's another thing that I don't think I can put it into two words. Like it mentions, the one whose horse is slower wins. It doesn't mention the one whose horse is slowest wins, right? So even if you're in first place, your horse is still slower, but relative to, like what? Relative to other horses, right? So it's still slower. It's not the fastest, not the faster. It's slower, but it's not the slowest. You know? Maybe, but that still doesn't make much sense though. Because for one, that assumes that we're comparing slower to other horses, not in the puzzle or in the riddle, as well as putting that into 2 words. I don't know how to do that either. Go slower or go slowest? Don't be slowest. I don't know. How do you say that in 2 words? Let's try. Now I'm just thinking of 2 words. Oh, 2 words. What would that be? Go fast? I mean, that would be 2 words. Go fast. And what did the wise men say to them? Don't be last. I don't know. Speed pass. No. Who wins? Whose horse? Well, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a break, is what I'm gonna do. Before, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm gonna take a food break as well. So I'm gonna like, eat some food, and think about this for like 15 minutes. You know? This is what I'm gonna do. I'll come back, maybe the answer. I don't wanna look it up, is the thing. I wanna try to figure it out on my own. Because, you know, if you look up the answer to a riddle, it kinda defeats the purpose. Right? So, but at the same time, I really want to give the correct answer. But anyway, I think I'm gonna take a food break is what I'm gonna do. So I'll be back about around 15 minutes. You know, it depends on how long I eat. But yeah, I'll come back and try to, I guess, continue trying to figure out this riddle if I haven't already figured it out during the break. But I'll be back.